One of the things I had on my wish list for the Cavs this summer was not only to replace JB Bickerstaff, but to clean out the entire thing top to bottom and enter next season with a brand new coaching staff. Since letting go of JB, the Cavs have now added 5 different coaches, including head coach Kenny Atkinson, and 4 new assistants to join him. Now, I've talked at length about JB and his time in Cleveland, but I do want to start off by saying once again, I got no bad feelings towards JB. I think he's a good coach who helped usher in this era of Cavs basketball. It was his defensive identity that was the root of a lot of their success, in my opinion, and so while JB has limitations and I don't think he ever quite figured out how to get the most out of his players offensively, he certainly knows how to command a defense, and I think he will help establish some things in Detroit, and he'll probably get them on the right track moving forward. So I'm wishing JB the best, and I do think he will find success with the Pistons, but it was just time for the Cavs to head in a new direction. And so when you look at the additions they have made this summer, from Kenny Atkinson stepping in as head coach to the assistant hirings of Johnny Bryant, Trevor Hendry, DeMarre Carroll, and Jordan Ott, it's pretty clear to me what the Cavs are hoping to address. All of those guys have strong backgrounds in player development, which is a point of emphasis for a Cavs group that is full of young stars looking to reach their potential. Evan Mobley and Darius Garland in particular are 2 players who seem to hit a wall under JB's tenure, and even if this ultimately proves to be more of an individual issue for those 2 guys rather than a coaching thing, it only makes sense to let someone new take a crack at this roster. Maximizing the young core is their top priority, at least it should be in my opinion, and the Cavs have assembled a staff who they believe can get the job done. Kenny Atkinson has worked alongside multiple big men who went on to expand their range out to the 3-point line. I don't know how much correlation you can draw here, but we do know Evan Mobley has already been spending some time with Atkinson working out this summer, and I don't think it's a coincidence that in a lot of these clips, Mobley is shooting 3-pointers. Now, I don't want to get carried away and assume that Mobley is going to take a massive leap as a 3-point shooter just because Kenny Atkinson is his coach, but it's something that I'm sure the Cavs are hoping to achieve. And when you look at last season, Mobley finished the year shooting a career-high 37% from the 3-point line. That's 12% higher than his previous best, and I always go back to free throw percentage as an indicator for shooting growth. If you look at that for Mobley, he did improve and shot just under 72%, which is 4% better from the year before. And just overall, his mechanics look better to me. I think his release has gotten smoother, it's a little quicker, and his load up just looks more consistent from shot to shot. So again, I think this coaching staff is built to give Mobley the best chance at unlocking his 3-point shot. And if that happens, then the floor opens up for this Cavs team in a way we haven't seen yet. Across the roster, the Cavs have a lot of untapped potential, if you ask me. I don't think this core 4 has been fully maximized yet. One of the main things, if not the main thing, holding them back has been their offensive limitations. They've repeatedly lost in the playoffs due to their inability to keep up with opponents and score enough points. I know people will worry about their defense, but I think the defense has been fine. I don't think that has been their downfall. It has always been their offense causing them to lose, in my opinion. So that's where Atkinson again becomes interesting to me. He has always prioritized a freelance motion offense where each player is expected to contribute in some way, and this would mark a huge difference from how Cleveland played last year, where it honestly felt like only Garland and Mitchell had permission to dribble the ball. I'm sure this wasn't totally the case, but it was enough of a theme that I feel comfortable assuming that it was partially their game plan, and it makes sense to have the ball in your best player's hands as much as possible, but the Cavs have talent on this roster that has been underutilized, and I hope Atkinson plans on being a little more dynamic and allowing us to see more of Strus, Mobley, Allen, and Okoro move with or without the ball. There was a general lack of secondary movement within the Cavs offense. It usually only seemed like one action would take place while everyone else stood around, and I think there's some meat on the bone that Atkinson and this new staff can help the Cavs get to. In many ways, Kobe Altman is tying his job security to this new coaching staff. He has placed all of his faith in the core 4, and now he is tripling down on this roster by avoiding any major changes and instead bringing in a fresh slate of coaches to hopefully unearth whatever potential is still lurking on the team. And I, for one, think the new coaching staff is going to help a lot, and I can't wait to see what they accomplish.